Hi, I'm Chris Martenson of Peak Prosperity here with your weekly update. It is Friday, May 29th, and again, lots to talk about. Even though the stock market keeps just hovering near all-time highs, and it's not doing that for fundamental reasons. You know that, right? You understand that first quarter GDP came in with a negative reading, that the earnings disappointments across a whole swath of industries have been distinctly negative, that we have a market priced to perfection, but all the fundamental data is saying, less than perfect, right? Of course, the market has nothing to do with fundamentals anymore. It is now merely trading on the idea of what the Federal Reserve is going to do in terms of printing more money and just throwing it into the market. That's how the market's operating right now, and history is really clear on this. We've had lots and lots of times where humans have wanted to get something for nothing. That is what the Federal Reserve efforts boiled down to when you strip away all the gobbledygook. It's something for nothing. Hey, if we just print money and throw it into the stock market, everybody gets rich. Why didn't we think of this before? You know, you have to wonder that. Of course, humans have thought of this lots of times before, and it's never worked out well. And there is so much going on in the world. I personally have a hard time collecting all of the data, which I just did in a recent two-part report. It's really, I call it, it's in denial. Is the title. We're in denial. It's time to write a requiem for the earth because the trajectories we are on lie in complete opposition to a happy stock market. The dissonance between these things, with the stock market signaling to a wide swath of people that all is well. But I'll tell you, all is not well. We can see that in the ecological data, whether we're talking about massive bee die-offs, pollinator die-offs in general, which include butterflies, but all of the other insects which we don't see because we don't track them as pollinators, who are surely dying off as well, which we can measure in the declining bird populations, the collapse of the entire small bottoms of the pyramid food sources in the Pacific Ocean, which is now being reflected in the die-offs of the megafauna in the Pacific Ocean, dead whales washing up almost daily now in California. We've got sea lions kicking the bucket, pelicans, all of that. So by the time we've collapsed a number of key ecosystems, we should be saying time out. It's not about whether or not the stock market's hitting all-time highs. It's about what's really happening in this world. So ecologically, there's clear signs of just massive distress. The energy situation is still massive signs of distress. We've got lots going on with, obviously, where you stand on climate change, you got to admit the stuff that's going on with the heat waves in India and in Australia, and then the floods in Texas and Oklahoma recently, there's clear signs of wacky weather. And what all this boils down to, obviously for me, is that humans are still in denial. We're in denial about where we are in this story. And denial comes in three stages itself. There's just straight out and out denial where people go, oh no, that's not happening. And then you get to the second stage of denial where they try to minimize it, say, well, it is happening, but worse things have happened before. Or if it is happening, it's not humans doing it. Or if humans are contributing to it, maybe we could fix it with technology, which usually gave us the problem in the first place. Stage 3 of denial is where you go into full-on projection and you blame somebody for the predicament that you happen to be in. And that's the stage, we're somewhere between 1 and 3 on a lot of issues. And so we have to understand that this psychological phenomenon of denial is really critical. It operates in our own lives. Myself, I'm not here pointing fingers saying, oh, those crazy people who have denial. We all do it. It's a human tendency, and so we should understand it. Because with understanding, we get to figure out that this is probably a relic from our evolutionary past that had some survival advantage, I'm sure, but it's not working for us here. It's 7.2 billion people facing the predicaments we are. It is going to kill us. So that's what we're talking about at the site. Still resonating with the ideas around the other pieces of work that we've come up with. Nomi Prin's excellent article. If you haven't seen that, check that out at the site. Really pleased to have her writing for us from time to time now. And we're talking about everything going on economically and ecologically and in the energy space as well. So with that, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Please come by the site. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and come to Peak Prosperity. Join the conversation. Love to see you there. Have a great weekend.